as a Christian, as a minister, you don't get to pick how people got wounded. You get to pick if you're prepared for the woundedness. And this next topic is really big. I would say of the 5,000 plus people and couples I've worked with, most have experienced sexual abuse. And this can be another key factor in why someone might be broken in the area of physical intimacy in marriage. Because when sexual abuse or trauma occurs, whether it's in childhood or early adolescence, before they even have like abstract reasoning, it often causes the person to conclude that they are bad, okay? And they will blame themselves and they'll carry the perpetrator's shame for years and connect that to their own sexuality when it was really the other person's sexuality that was carrying shame and pain. Now, sexual trauma can lead a person to overprotect their sexuality, okay, or overexpress their sexuality and get them in trouble, okay? Learning how to deal with the trauma is huge. People respond differently to very similar experiences. I want you to know that God cares and he can heal your mind, your body, your emotions, and he can restore this area of your life so that you can thrive in your marriage and thrive in your life. I know I was abused, okay, more than once. And I know what it is to do the work and to have a very fulfilled physical relationship. And you can have it too, okay? Christ is no respecter of persons. However, we need to do the work sometimes to heal. And if you need professional help, I strongly encourage you to get that with someone who really knows what they're doing in that area. Another factor that can lead to a physically declining relationship is depression. And this is real, okay? I'm going to walk through some of the symptoms and let's talk about this. Now, in your congregation at your church, there's a lot of people depressed for different reasons. Understanding this can be really helpful. Again, if you're in any kind of leadership, you need to understand some of these basic things, okay? Someone who's depressed, they have low energy most of the time, most days, okay? They're just kind of finding it hard to push through the day, okay? They're not flying through and dancing through and having fun. It's just a push through the day. They have difficulty concentrating. They have difficulty making decisions. Oftentimes they have sleep disturbance. Sleep disturbance can be that they like to sleep a lot or they keep waking up. Either way. Another thing can be a significant weight gain or weight loss. One of the symptoms of depression is low sexual desire or no sexual desire. And you can see why I put this in the material on Sexless and Married, because this might be the reason. Now, a depressed person can have suicidal thoughts or just wishing they weren't here, okay? And if you or your spouse have a number of these symptoms, you might be struggling with depression, or the people you're praying for might actually be struggling with depression. And that may cause them to be less interested in the physical relationship inside their marriage. Now, you'll want to address this before you can kind of start thriving in your marriage, because if depression is the reason, you need to deal with the depression, okay? Now, there's things you can do with depression, like definitely get more exercise. The brain is a very powerful chemical producer, okay? Push yourself hard and you can feel better, okay? Look at your diet. If you're drinking alcohol, cut it out. If you're drinking large amounts of caffeine, stop it, okay? That can cause depression all by itself. You're just hitting your brain so hard, and then it empties out. Okay, that by itself can affect your sleep. And if you want to seek some natural solutions, talk to a professional about that. But you deserve not to be depressed, but you also deserve to have a fantastic physical relationship with your spouse. And your spouse deserves the best of you. Now, there's some people that actually have what we call personality disorder, okay? And one of the most common that avoids sexuality is schizoid. And this is a little less known, but I really want to just zip through this really, really quick. What are the characteristics? Typically, they have no sexual desire, okay? They tend to do most things alone. It's kind of a lone wolf mentality. This person isn't in teams, doesn't have relationships with friends, doesn't go out with people, kind of works and comes home. Okay? They don't tend to have close friends. They have no real desire for friendships. It's like the chip's missing. It's like, I don't need that. They don't really enjoy life. They're just going through the motions, almost like a machine, just kind of not connecting along the way. Generally, there's no hobbies or getting pleasure from any hobbies. Praise and criticism, they're impervious to that. They don't really care. And again, if they have these symptoms, you definitely want to get professional help, because that might be one of the reasons why they're having a sexless marriage. Now, other reasons for depression and symptoms that can lead to someone having low desire is a low thyroid. Get your thyroid panel checked. Get your testosterone checked. Get a whole hormone panel. Okay? In the Sexless and Married DVD, we cover all of the solutions in detail so that people can walk free in this.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.